Welcome students to the lecture series on Introduction to AWS. As we all know that AWS provides various services over the internet which are represented as cloud services or cloud computing. Let's have a brief look what exactly is cloud computing. So, we are going to look what is cloud computing, cloud computing service models and deployment models. So, to make with what is cloud computing, first we will have why this particular cloud computing has been in existence. Think 2 decades prior, when a particular person wants to start his own organization, say this organization as IT, where he has to purchase various IT equipment such as servers, switches, routers and many more. Initially, for a startup company, this might be a burden where he has to expend a lot of money which is treated as a capital expenditure. Along with that, to make it operational, he has to invest for operational expenditure too. Then from this philosophy, cloud computing has been evolved, where all these computing resources will be provisioned on rental basis, or we can say it as pay as you go or pay as you use, or else we can refer cloud computing as utility based computing, where we providers are going to be charging only for the services or resources which we are going to use. Basically, the term cloud has been historically come from telecommunication industry, where this is represented as a abstraction of a network. And if we are having certain type of computing over the network, it has been referred as a metaphor of cloud computing. According to NIST, the standard definition for cloud computing has been referred like this. Cloud computing is a model where it enables ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources such as networks, servers, storage and various applications were being provisioned as services. And these services are provisioned rapidly within no time to the end customers, where end customers will have minimal management effort or they need to have minimal interaction with service providers. This is what the standard definition given by National Institute of Standards and Technology, where ubiquitous means all the services which are provisioned, they can be used from anywhere. Basically, clients or customers may be moving from one geographical area to another geographical area. A service which is accessible in India can also be accessible in Japan, and such a service on a daily basis we even and then refer to our mails, such as Gmail. Gmail is a service provisioned over the network from Google, which can be accessible from anywhere, and the service which is provisioned over the cloud needs to be convenient. What does convenient means? A convenient from the customer's perspective. It should not be device bound. It should be accessed from any device if the device is connected to the internet. At the same time, all these services needs to be provisioned to the customers when they demand for such a service, and it should have certain configurable resources. You can configure the computing resources provisioned from the service provider as per your need. Just like in Google Drive, by default Google provides 15 GB of RAM, 15 GB of storage. If you require more storage on Google Drive, you can demand Google by paying certain extra amount. For making all these things, we need not to worry about the management of the service. Neither we need not to contact with the service provider. This is what cloud computing is. Next, what are various service models which are provisioned from cloud? If we are looking around, we do have various services which are provisioned from the cloud from various different cloud service providers. All those services are being categorized into three major service models: IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, where IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service, PaaS stands for platform as a service, SaaS stands for software as a service. As the name itself indicates that we are going to get something as a service from certain cloud provider. To refer, if you are going to see infrastructure as a service, where various infrastructure or hardware components such as computing, storage, network were being provisioned from certain cloud provider. Such as, if you are going to see, the leading cloud providers under IaaS are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google's compute platform, where Amazon provides EC2 as a computing server, Microsoft Azure provides virtual machines, and Google provides compute engine as infrastructure as a service. When we are focusing on these, all these provides servers itself, but as per the provider, the terminology gets changed. Amazon says it as EC2, Microsoft says as virtual machine, Google says it as a compute engine. At the end of the day, we are going to get servers from these providers. Next service model is platform as a service. If there is a developer who wants to develop certain application and he doesn't have any PC with him or laptop with him, but he wants to develop an application rapidly, then such developer may approach some cloud service provider to make the platform available for him to develop and deploy his own application. Such PaaS providers are Elastic Beanstalk from Amazon, Force.com for Salesforce.com, Google App Engine from Google. Not only this, we do have certain platform as a service provisions such as Colab, where we explicitly use for machine learning, or else Kaggle, where we can perform certain deep learning or high performance computing jobs. All these falls under platform as a service. Lastly, software as a service, where entire software will be provisioned to the end customer to use, such as Microsoft Office 365, where we can get various applications such as PowerPoint presentations or Excel sheets or Word documents or whatsoever. Whereas Salesforce CRM, where enterprises can manage their customer relationship by using a service provision from Salesforce. And last but not least, Google Apps. All the Google apps which are provisioned falls under this software as a service, where we can send mails, we can create our documents such as Word documents, sheets, drive, we can store certain thing, Google Classroom, and so on and so forth. When we are discussing about all these service models, these should be deployed in some or the other deployment model. So, the next thing, so when we are utilizing certain services, if you do have a laptop, then starting from networking, storage such as your SSD hard disk and so on, server OS, middleware, runtime, applications and the data. All these should be managed by you when it is your own laptop. When you are going to cloud service provider such as infrastructure as a service, then the bottommost layers such as networking components, storage, servers, virtualization, these components will be managed by the provider. These will be managed by the provider, whereas the above layers which are going to be there, those should be managed by the user, such as which type of operating system you do require, what sort of platform or middleware you want to install, which type of applications you want to build concerned runtime and the data as well as the applications. All these layers are going to be managed by the user. Whereas in platform as service, along with the infrastructure, certain middleware components which are required to build an application, those are going to be managed by the provider, whereas the application and the data related to the application will be managed by the user. Whereas in software as a service, nothing is going to be managed by us, only we use this service, and over here Gmail is the best example. We make use of Gmail to send the mails, but we are least bothered about the layers which are running behind the Gmail application. So, coming to the deployment models, all these services are deployed either in public, private or hybrid. There are three types of clouds where one particular service will be deployed in some sort of cloud. Let us see what is a public cloud. If some service has been deployed on the public cloud, then it can be accessed by any organization or any particular individual, and one best example is your Gmail. Gmail is a service or application which is deployed on public cloud, so it can be accessible by any organization or any particular individual. Whereas coming to private cloud, a service which is going to be deployed on a private cloud, it can be accessed only and only by one particular organization to maintain the security policies. Whereas hybrid cloud, it is a mix of private and public. The non-critical components of an application, you can run it on public clouds, and mission critical components of an application, you can run it on private clouds. A mix of public and private is said to be an hybrid cloud. Here we ends our session for the day. Thank you.